AI Alchemy Hour starts now.
Right. Let me just make a quick post, get some people on it. 1 second. Okay. Well, here we go. Section. We'll get a few more people kind of trickling in here.
Hey, bro.
What's up, Marco? What's up, Jojo?
What's up, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, because I figured what I was talking about the subject matter, I figured it's the one thing we haven't shown everybody.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do. It's just everybody tends to overcomplicate it.
No, I think it's super solid. And I'm going to share, I'll start in a second because Max can't be on the call today. He'll be here next week. But he came up with some like weekly new stuff and things on AI, which I think he's really good at doing that. So I'm going to go through his document. Some of the stuff I know about, some of the stuff I know less about. So I'll share it, but you can kind of flip through it. And it's a good way to kind of get an overview of what's going on in the space.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The only thing is it's super distracting. If we're going to start making this like goal-based or assignment-based, we probably want to just focus on the assignments and pushing through.
True. Yeah, we're going to end up, we'll see. There'll be a couple like different updates and structures on these. But let me go through these real quick. Okay. All right, so I will share this link after. I think there's some pretty cool stuff in here for you to check out. And then of course you got stuff from last week and the whole master list thing. So let's go through it. This is pretty cool. This is basically an AI film, and it's from Curious Refuge, which I think that company is great. And it's a combination of live action as well as AI generated footage. So let me actually share so I can go with share with audio. Just play a couple seconds of it.
So, what's new?
I've been having these intrusive thoughts.
Has it been stress?
No, it's nothing like that.
So what is it then? Tell me.
I have found, like, this hidden staircase in my bedroom wall.
Creepy.
It's completely black in every direction. But they all go nowhere. Just copy after copy, like reflections.
Sarah, do you hear yourself?
It's not funny, Claire. It felt real.
So anyway, kind of interesting, right? Ways to combine some of the AI imagery with live action stuff. And you're definitely going to see a lot more of that as things go on. So we have the Leonardo transparent image. So basically you're able to make assets within Leonardo, and then you're able to turn them into transparent images, which means you can use them for all kinds of interesting things, which is cool. I think Leonardo, like, they're great. I think their features are awesome. Like the team, the way they're, I don't know, the way that they're moving is really, really cool. Some of the other ones. Nuno, do you know much about Devin?
No, Devin is new to me.
Okay, so it's supposed
Oh,
to
no,
be.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yes, it will actually write full code for you. But the problem is with Devin is it's still like asking for it. It's not like necessarily writing the whole thing yet, but they said that they're very close where you could give it a task of write me like code for, a bot, and it will actually write the entire code. But now it still requires quite a bit, but it's pretty awesome. It will actually code everything for you in the future. That's what the big plan is.
Yep, I think it's cool. I've heard a lot of people have criticisms of it and say that it's not quite as impressive as it seems to be, but
Yep.
no, I don't know enough about it to go through it, but it's worth looking into. A lot of people are talking about it. It's kind of a cool development to pay attention to. I think this is interesting, especially in the context of this interview, which I also thought was very interesting. This Sam Altman video or interview. So we'll go to that in a second. There's also these rumors of the GPT 4.5 turbo leak that's coming out. Again, I think keeping that news in the context of this interview is pretty cool. So I would check that out. This is something that I think is really interesting, which is 10 themes defining Gen Z, which, as Gen Z starts to get older, more purchasing power becomes way more relevant. And I think it's going to dictate a lot of the marketing trends that we see. So I'm going to go through like super high level on some of these. But if you want to go deeper, I think this is a really interesting article. Okay, so things like the digital self is one of the big trends. We have shifting workspace, right? Like the difference between work and home environment and work and life is becoming like different, like it's interspersed within our life. Or you could be like Nuno and work 14 hours or 18 hours a day. This other one here too, the mission core plus the everypreneur. So one thing here is, where does this purpose come from? Entrepreneurship. Gen Z is the entrepreneurial generation. This combination of Silicon Valley becoming a societal bedrock and the rise of YouTube has made entrepreneur creator the dream job for Gen Z. I think that's very, very interesting. Powerful trend, I think, especially if you're in the digital marketing space. Here's another one, community as an asset class. So the intersecting trends of work no longer being a place and the rise of the digital self has created an entirely new meaning of what community looks like. Traditional community involvement has decreased dramatically. Despite this decline, digital communities have accelerated. So a lot of some interesting metrics here. The other one here is the degenerate economy, being hooked on everything, which I think is really interesting. So they talk about sports betting, clickbait, reels, TikTok, even dating, things like that. So really fascinating, like to go through some of these trends and relate them back to, really anything that you're selling. I think that's super interesting to be aware of that. Cool. We have DID. I'll share this link definitely. This is something I also shared, this Midjourney Masterclass. If you guys haven't seen it, really, really powerful for how he's creating ad assets. He's specifically creating static images for a lot of really big 9-figure, 10-figure brands and doing it in a really systematic way that's aligned and integrated with like testing. Now they're moving into more like animated ones and then into video. Even if you are not making ads, but you're just interested in a systematic approach to AI creation that's integrated with like testing environments and stuff like that, it's really, really phenomenal. It's also got these really great formulas. I think we looked at them last time when we were going with Rodrigo around like, things like asset hacking, different prompt formulas. So really recommend that you watch this video. I think you'll get a lot of power from it. And then I'll talk high level on this one. So if you guys didn't see this, I think it came out 2 days ago.
Forms and surveys like this?
And I'll give some Spark Notes version of it, although I think it's pretty interesting to watch at. So, they go through the OpenAI, Alexis says, speaking of shares, yeah, David Shapiro is awesome. Definitely somebody that I follow routinely.
Yeah, he's a good read and a rapper apparently.
Cool. So this is interesting here, talking about the Elon Musk lawsuit. If you don't know, basically Elon Musk sued OpenAI, saying like, hey, you have to take open out of your name because some stuff is shared, some stuff is not shared. And so hearing Sam Altman sort of talk about what he kind of sees, a lot of people criticizing him for talking about like a politician, which is true. Like he's definitely a little cagey with some of his answers. But overall, I found it really fascinating. So he's talking about these different the LLMs. Some of them are going to be open source, and there's going to be a world for that. Some of them are going to be closed. Who's leading the way, etc. Then talk about Sora and how they did this. Right. The impressive thing about Sora is not only the images themselves, but the fact that it's able to sort of model like 3D physics in an interesting way. And so the question becomes like, does this new model and the way that it's trained, which is slightly different than the way that large language models are trained? I don't understand all the technicalities. I know that there's some innovation on that. The question is, if you just scale up compute, have more compute and more whatever, are you going to be able to replicate or create a model that understands, 3D reality and physics? And so, Sam kind of talks about that. And basically the answer is probably not, although it does get you pretty close. Right. And there's definitely other challenges. I think the time that it takes to generate these, the cost that it takes to generate these videos is going to be a big barrier. I think when the model is released to the public, there's going to be a lot that can be done with it. So I think understanding what those limitations are and sort of thinking ahead and preparing is powerful. Again, if you know how to use a tool like Midjourney or a tool like DALL-E or a tool like Leonardo to a high degree, obviously it's not going to be a one-to-one function when you go to use a tool like Sora. But if you understand a lot of the language of a lot of visual language and how to prompt things and what works, what doesn't work, you're going to have such a head start when it comes to using this model. So I think that's cool. Sam basically thinks GPT-4 sucks, which is super interesting. That was his summary of it. Some speculations about GPT-5, the leaps that need to be made, things like that. So overall, I found it really, really interesting. And Alexa brought it up, but I'll share this guy. David Shapiro, somebody that I follow like very often for stuff around AI. Like, I just think he's a really thoughtful person. And so a lot of these like headlines are very, very clickbait, but like very, very thoughtful analysis of what's going on, what the future is going to be. And he has some other channels like this one, which is really, really cool. A lot of these are interviews that he has with people, but if you go back to the very beginning of these, some of these first episodes on things like lists and models, first principles, distillation, schemas, cognitive dissonance, I think these are really, really cool because I think those actually here, the biggest takeaway I got from the Altman podcast was Lex Fridman asked him a question and said, hey, what is the most impressive thing about GPT-4? And he says, in his opinion, the most impressive thing and the thing that he uses it the most for is as a thinking partner. A thinking partner, asking questions, getting it to give you feedback, learning. He says the people who go there first in their workflows, like they're going to start a project and they go there and collaborate with GPT-4, get the most value out of it, right? Prompts are amazing. Systems are amazing. The automations are amazing. But I routinely find that the most impressive people who are using this use it because they're interacting with it like a thinking partner. And the way that you get better at that skill of interacting with it is to become better at asking questions and to sort of adopt a higher level of thinking, sort of like a meta level of thinking, which is at a higher level of abstraction. How do you do that? Well, you start thinking in terms of systems, right? You start thinking about thinking. And I think that David Shapiro has a great sort of like crash course if you watch these first videos here. And that's just going to make the way you interact with these tools a lot better. So let me see. Yep, I think that's mostly everything. And you'll see some other things on here. And this will continue to get updated. If you actually go here, oh, this is the master database. You'll see a lot of things on here. So let me share this with everyone. Cool. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Nuno to take it from there.
All right. So I have one big surprise, first people to see it. And then another question for you guys. Who here wants to learn how to create Facebook ads? Any thumbs up on this? Oh, Jojo. I need a compelling, like, everybody wants to create Facebook ads, or nobody. I can teach anybody. So Alexa, Murcio, anybody, everybody good? All right, awesome. All right, so really quickly, and we're going to use a little bit of AI, because that's actually what's going to write my ad, and I'm going to show you how I trained my bot to do it. And I actually, believe it or not, the surprising who wrote the best ad, in my opinion, was Gemini. Gemini actually out of Claude, the newest Claude, ChatGPT 4, and also Gemini. It totally wrote it the best exact way. And it's probably going to be a multi-part because, Luke, I don't think we're going to have enough time, and it's very confusing if you let it be, right? So the first and foremost is when creating, even before we get into the whole structure of building a Facebook ad, and that is the simplest. It is very important that you guys got to understand a couple things, and I'm going to tell you where everybody goes wrong. The first thing is who the audience is going to be and who you're advertising for. There has to be a little thought process, and you can actually, it's funny you said thinking, Parker. Luke, you were like in my mind. You can actually leverage like all of these, Gemini, Claude, or ChatGPT. I actually recommend you guys go into Gemini and trying to find who is going to be your ultimate audience for Facebook and for Google Ads or for whatever else we write. And we'll actually go into Google Ads also. So with that being said, that's how we're going to start the process today. And I want you guys to follow the same exact process, because this is ultimately we're going to be, because the first thing that we're going to do is establish who our audience is, work on our ads and our offers, make the ads interesting enough, then go into, after those two, then go into actually audience building inside of Facebook. And then we're going to construct the ad as probably the final piece. So it doesn't have to be that complicated, but I do need you guys to really fully understand the steps and the way you want to do this, right? And this is the way I'm going to, can you let me share, Luke? And we're recording this, right? Because I think this will be a good asset. All right. So let's just start in first, like the idea generation. And actually, Rodrigo, I'm going to use you and your whole pool kind of concept, because I know you're servicing a lot of those people. And that is the perfect example, right? So I'm going to go to my Gemini. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new chat. And I'm going to start dialoguing with it, right? So first and foremost, Rodrigo, I need, I'm going to ask for help, and I'm going to kind of communicate back and forth. I need help in creating an audience / avatar for a company that sells pools. Where? Rodrigo, come out of mute. Give me some ammunition here.
Orlando, Florida, Central Florida area.
Orlando, Florida. All right, let's just give it a couple of examples. The market is very saturated, and we need to really have a strong Facebook ad plan that makes us stand out and different. Okay? Give me some general audience guidelines, like age 18 to 65. Male versus female. And common likes that would be relevant that I can use for audience targeting for Facebook ads. Let's just start there. Now, the biggest mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to Facebook ads, again, I'm going to say it again because I need this drilled into your head, is that they don't pick the right audience. So they have the most incredible offer and they send it to the wrong audience and now they're blowing their budget. All right. So we have to be very mindful of that. So perfect age group, age 22 to 55, the prime homeowner age where people are established and likely to have means for a pool. Hyper focus on greater Orlando area, including surrounding suburbs and community where home ownership is prevalent, meaning we want to stay away from areas that have a lot of apartments, target middle to upper class level households. We can't do income levels, so we have to kind of go around that. Home and interests like home improvement, interior design, HGTV, very good. Interest, outdoor lifestyle, entertaining, landscaping, patios, gardening. Parenting magazine, family activities, kids related, brands and stores, because people that have kids are more likely to probably want to have pools. And then upscale brands, travel, country clubs, higher disposable interest rates. So we might want to look into that and see what brands are available. And then real estate, we're not going to really look at that because that just ends us up in a whole nother thing. Ways to make your ad stand out. Focus on aspirational lifestyle, beautiful visuals, relaxing by the pool, families enjoying water, backyard parties. So picture the vision of having a pool in your backyard and make it seem extravagant. Perfect idea. Emphasize unique design options your company offers. So Rodrigo, remember, the cooler the image, the more reactions we're going to get. Stress quality and expertise, showcase your company's experience and craftsmanship. That's going to be all right. And special promotion, use time-sensitive offers and discounts to entice action. All right. Lookalike audience, use data from existing customer base. We're going to do that. Retargeting, A/B, fantastic. Seasonal trends, which in Orlando, not really, but it's probably better and more often in the summer, but you would tell me that, right? Now that we have there, let us know if you help brainstorm in specific. See, it's now telling me, would you like to brainstorm with me? And I'm like, yes, I actually do. So let's have fun with the ad copy and let's create some ads with personalities of known celebrities like Kevin Hart. Make it fun, different, and more importantly, catching the reader to click on the ad. Give me some visual ideas also with each ad copy. I'm already trying to give it a different parameter because I don't want it to seem like another norming act. Kevin Harper's, listen, I'm all about the short jokes and the big dreams. Your backyard's got big potential. Let's ditch the kiddie pool and upgrade to the real deal. Your neighbors will be so jealous, it'll be hilarious. Somewhat. Visual, Kevin Hart standing next to a comical, tiny inflatable pool, looking unimpressed, then a wide shot of a luxury pool and the level up caption. Again, it's got some good ideas, and with Leonardo and everything else, we might be able to come along with that, right? Okay, pools are expensive, but think of it like this. It's cheaper than therapy after your kids go stir crazy somewhere along. Trust me, I know. Kevin Hart looking frazzled and kids bouncing off the walls, cut into him relaxing in a poolside with a cocktail and peace at last option. All right, and I'm just using one there. Okay, and it's got a couple of examples. It's okay. But we're going to say, now let's write the ad and create a short and long form version. All right. All right. That copy's a little break, but it's going to be focused. There we go. Awesome. So it's benefit, highlight not only fun with the kids, but peace and adults, mention summer and approaching. So there's a couple of things that I want to take away from. We are going to focus very heavily on our targeting on this particular age group. We're going to definitely target both male and females. We're going to be very local to the Orlando market. And then we're going to target middle and lower upper class households, but more so on the luxury brands and travel than necessarily being able to target income levels, because we can't do that. And then home and garden interest, I'm going to skip all that. But what I am going to do is people that are parents. People that are parents, people that have on there, and anybody that's not renting. So that's going to be our key promotional audiences in that, right? Now, here's a cool thing about Facebook ads. So whenever you got to create a Facebook ad, the first thing you got to do is one, you got to create your audiences. So I'm going to go through that. Now, I have a bunch of different ads from all kinds of stuff. So it's very hard for me to create any additional pixels. Actually, where did you guys just go? But here's what you would have to do. Yeah, actually, if anybody wants to try this, we can do it live and you guys can see it. Rodrigo, if you want to create your own ad account, it costs absolutely no money. Want to try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so share your screen. And
Mm.
anybody that's watching that you're trying to get yourself out there, look, at the end of the day, we can have all these organic approaches and everything else, but there's no better and bigger way to build your list for anything that you guys are trying to take on, freelancer, for customers, getting customers, whatever it is, selling a service and so forth. But the most important aspect of this is understanding that ads is always the way to go, regardless of which. And if you come in it thinking of like a disposable income, meaning I'm just going to devote $500 to a gamble that I'm going to just generate some customers or grow my list every month, $20 a day, $10 a day, whatever your budget class is, getting something out there versus nothing will go a very long way. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is go into your Facebook ads account or your Facebook account.
In this case, go to Meta, to the Meta platform, right?
Yeah, the Meta platform that you have. Now you can create it off your personal. We don't ever recommend you doing that. We actually recommend people creating a business because you never want to do off your personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have at least a page, you're already one step ahead. The next step is actually creating an ad account and going from there. So what we're going to do is you're going to come into here. This is somebody that has like a regular account. Just go into yours if you have a business. Okay, beautiful. Click on that. And go into Ads Manager on the bottom left-hand side. Now, we're not going to load anything today. All we're going to do is create some audiences. I'm going to show you how to play with audiences a little bit, because honestly, that's where I go first. And then we're going to talk about what the pixel is and what we have to do it, because that's also the secondary important thing. So as long as it likes to launch. Awesome. So this is already an established account. If you didn't have it, you would literally have the button that says create ad account, and you would create an ad account for whatever business you're in. If you go over to the left-hand side and you go to the little people heads over there on the left-hand side, it's
The
3
people.
down. There you go. Click on that. This probably has a bunch of restrictions from what I'm looking at it, but we're gonna go with it anyway. Awesome. Here is where you can create what's called custom audiences, and you can create lookalike audience, and you can create audiences that you want to be ready to use. Guys, write this down.
I really never
What was that? Oh,
used lookalikes. I have custom audiences that I created and tested a bunch. I never used lookalikes. So I never used lookalikes, but I used
got
a
it.
lot of audiences that I created.
Yeah, so lookalikes is actually the best audience you can actually have. And even the people that are going to list, we're going to create things a little bit differently, right? And I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And I recommend anybody that has any kind of Facebook that you do this and you just have these available, because it will 100% help you later on. Can we try to refresh this again one more time? Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's loading.
Facebook, like this Meta thing, is so slow. It's annoying.
All right, so you have a little bit of lookalike and everything else, but we are going to create the 3 most standard audiences you always want to make sure you have, which is your Facebook page interaction audience, your Instagram page interaction audience, your website interaction audience, and if you have a lookalike, we want to make sure we load a customer list, because that customer list will help us find buyers that are very alike. And collectively, we're going to make that one big massive list, and we're going to see how we use it when we start building the ad. So for
Okay.
instance, go to the left-hand side and you're going to hit create audience.
Bota um pouquinho de café aqui pra mim, por favor. Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to do custom audience. How many Instagram followers and everything else that these people have?
Instagram, it's very small, like 200 something.
All right, and what about Facebook?
Same, less than that.
Okay, so, but still it counts, so we got to make sure we take care of it. Now, what you're going to do is, you see where it says meta sources on the left-hand side?
Yes.
Go to where it says Facebook page.
Facebook page. Okay.
These are the vital 3 audiences that I want everybody to create. So if you don't have an account, I would suggest you do it. Or if you're watching this on replay, make sure you do that. You're going to hit next.
Next.
And what are you going to do is you're going to change this to, it's going to read. So this is the way this is. Anybody that's interacting with anything on the Facebook page will now start getting recorded. And we're going to record it for 365 days. And basically what we're going to do is eventually when you start building your audience and you start running ads, a lot of people will start viewing your Facebook page, will start interacting with your Instagram account, and you're going to slowly build an audience. Once you get to a certain level of an audience, you can create a lookalike of this audience, and it's going to start finding other people that are interested, that would be interested in your kind of product that you sell, whether it's a course, whether it's a pool, it doesn't matter. This is active across all boards, right? So on the audience
let me
stage,
ask
you're
you
going to
one
put,
thing. If we do a awareness campaign, would it help to build the audience?
no,
No?
there's a cheat that we're going to do an awareness campaign, and I'm going to show that with you. There's a little secret that's been driving me for God knows how long when it comes to Facebook ads, where is we create a video, we use video views to generate an audience and
Mhm.
warm up an audience, and then we'll retarget that audience with an actual offer of anybody that's watched the video over 75%. It's
I've
cheap,
heard about this
works
strategy, I
wonders.
just never learned how to use it. But let's
Yeah,
focus.
so we're learning now, right? So right here, but we're going to do these first because this is like the foundation to start really good ads. So from here, you're going to type in on the audience name, you're going to put Facebook page interaction. And on the descriptions, just put anybody who interacts with the Facebook page, meaning you like it, you click it, you dislike, it doesn't matter. Anybody that interacts with anything on the page is going to go in here. And we want to make sure we want to put descriptions on because later on, we're going to use these to create lookalike audiences. All right, this is the first one. These are the easy ones. So Facebook, we're going to do the same thing for your Instagram. So hit create audience. All right, now we're going to go as soon as this is over. Now watch, the funniest thing is that the second they do this, watch what's going to happen. It's going to prompt you, okay, would you like me to create a lookalike audience of all the people that interacted with your page? Because to Facebook, it goes, look, my algorithm is pretty smart. If you have 1,000 people that are interacting with your Facebook page, I can make other people out there that have the same interest and go find them for you. This is why it's super important that you guys figure this out. So we're not going to do any of this because we're going to create another custom audience. So go all the way to the bottom. No. Oh, it's right there. If you just hit create another custom audience, right above it. Nope, down 2. There you go. Beautiful. Click on that. Now we're going to do the same thing with Instagram. Like I said, this is going to be a 3-part series because there's a lot of steps to this, but if you do it right from the beginning, and then this one, same thing, you hit next, 365 days, and this is going to be Instagram interaction audience, Instagram page interaction, and then anybody who's interacted with your Facebook page. Awesome. And then hit create audience. Sweet. Now, the next one we're going to do is website. Now, this is important, Rodrigo. When you guys are creating Facebook ads, you're going to get a pixel. You're going to put that pixel anywhere that your business does business in on web. So if they have a website page, even though if it's not active and you're not running pages to it, you always want to have a pixel on any asset that you have that is getting any bit of traffic. We don't care where it comes from. So we're going to create another custom audience. And this time we're going to go up all the way and we're going to select website on the left-hand side. Awesome. Just click on that on the left. Can you, yeah, there we go. Hit next. And I think the limit here is 180 days, but we're going to try it out anyway. So hit next. Oh, what happened? Awesome. That means, yeah, see the source is red. That means that it hasn't seen any action. But it doesn't mean that you can't start putting it in different places. And I would recommend doing that. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go to the audience name and you're going to name it anybody who's website interaction, 180 days. Try to do in 365. I don't think it'll let us do that, but actually you want 100. Yeah, just leave it at 180 days. 180 days is a good number for that. Nope, 180. That's what I thought. All right. And description, same thing. Anybody who's interacted with the website. So any of these people that have taken these actions, they're interacting with your Facebook page, your Instagram, or your website. Are they warm or are they cold?
Warm.
Anyone? Warm. Right? They're warm because they're interacting, they're getting in there and all that. So what we're going to do is this now becomes your warm audience. All right. I'm going to go all the way down and I'm going to create another audience. Now, Rodrigo, this will be your fourth audience, and this is the most important audience. Hit create another customer audience. And what you would do is you would go to this pool place and he goes, I need all of your customers from the last 3 years and a CSV file. When they give you the CSV file of all your customers for the last 3 years, you would go and you would create a customer list. You need at least 100 people in order for the customer list to be active. So click on that customer list. You would hit next, and it will immediately ask you to upload the list. And you would download it from a file template, but it would just be a CSV. All you need is the name, the number, and an email. Or name and email, or name and number. If you have name, email, and number, the better and more accurate the list is going to be.
Number, you mean phone, telephone number, right?
Just name and telephone number if you have it. It gets a pretty good match. Name and email and telephone's even better. And if you have even more information, great. It's just like you're going to have to match it.
I must have them on QuickBooks. I think I can download that from QuickBooks.
Fantastic. When you download it, you're going to come in here and you're just going to create the list.
Okay.
That's it. You don't have to do anything else. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit next. Oh, well, you wouldn't hit next, but you would have to download the list first. It will ask you to download. Like, here's where you upload the file. Then when you do it, then we can come back to it. So we're going to hit back now because you don't have the list, so it's not going to work, right? Right. So that's step one. You're going to create these 4 audiences, and you have your customer list, your Facebook, your website, and you're going to have your Instagram, and you have your customer lookalike. All right. So X out of this on the top right-hand side. But I do need you to do this exercise because next week we're going to create lookalike audiences based on those lists. All right.
Okay. When we finish this, I can do that.
Yeah. And then you can download it and everything else. All right. The next part of this on the audience side is we are going to create a warm list and we're going to create a cold list and we're going to have it as a saved audience. Cold, we're not worried about so much. Most important thing right now is that we're going to put this all together and we're going to do it as a saved audience. So now go to create audience on the left-hand side. And you see where it says saved audience, grab saved audience and click on that. Awesome. Click on it. Anything happening?
Already did it. Yeah.
I don't know, but is it moving?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Awesome. You know how sometimes you have to build the audience that's outside of while you're doing the ad, you don't need to do that. So now, based on what we got from the GTP, we are going to create the audience, a couple of audiences, right? The first one we're going to name, let's name it residential parents. All right. That's the way my head would work. And we're going to probably put the age limit 22 to 55. No, go all the way up, go all the way up, go all the way up. Naming is super important. So come in here, put little parentheses and put age 22, no, all the way up. On the name, put in parentheses 22 to 25 or 55. I'm sorry, 55. I didn't mean 25, 55. Because now we're going based off the recommendations that we see there, and put another little parentheses. This is the naming convention we're gonna need, so then we understand it.
The recommendation
Now-
of Gemini was 25 to 55, I think.
Oh, whatever it was, just go ahead and, I thought it was 22, but it could be 25. 25 is good.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do locations. First of all, it's not Brazil. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and pick Orlando. I'm gonna give you guys some cheat sheets on how you can do this. Again, this is very, very hyper local. Hyper local is very different than broad-based ads that we do for courses and lead magnets and all this. Now, Orlando, Florida. Beautiful. Click on that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to exclude certain areas in Orlando, you can zoom in. All right, so let's just zoom in. And I don't know if you know the Orlando area. Zoom in a little bit more. You can now start creating little radius blocks of the areas you don't want them to advertise in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you can create like a little circumference. All right, to make it hyper targeted. So now what I want you to do is I want you to hit drop pin. In the drop pin, you are gonna, do you know any of these areas that are not profitable and like we don't want to be around, that are not gonna have pools?
Right on the mapping here, downtown Orlando, not a good place to go.
All right,
Like,
so
a lot
scroll all the
of
way
commercial
down.
building.
All right, drop the pin. The drop.
Want me?
Well, it didn't look like it dropped. Hold on.
No.
We might have to hit exclude on there. So hold on. All right. Well, let's
Isn't
try
it dropped
something
here?
else. No. We want to, yeah, we want to do at least 10 mile, make it super hyper local, but we want to avoid the downtown area. So, but we have to create that. Go down a little bit. The other thing to do is I'm going to teach you another trick. So this is actually probably going to be a little bit better for pools. Go to the right-hand side and hit the little plus sign on and make another tab real quick. All the way on the right, top right. Yep. And put in wealthiest wealthiest zip code in Orlando, Florida.
What do you would think of that, Nuno?
I've done this for a while. Hit enter. But this is the way you got to think, though. You got to be a little. Yeah, see, this is fantastic. Zip codes are making the mark. Take those zip codes right there, and let's just grab the zip code. You used to allow us to put zip codes in. Let's see if it does it. Go back to the ads
What?
manager. Oh man, computer's slow. It's like slowing down.
It's Zoom and Meta at the same time on my Microsoft thing. It's kind of hard for it to work. Okay, here we are.
Awesome. Let's try putting in a zip code. You used to let us do this. If not, we're gonna have to be a little creative with it. But just drop a zip code in there. Hit enter. Oh, oh no, that does that whole thing. Can you put in the name of the town and then the zip code afterwards and see if it works?
Yeah. There's one specific one that I saw here. 328. I just typed wrong the shit.
Yeah, I know the slowdown is not helping, but you guys get the point, right? What we're going to do is build audiences even before we run the ads to make sure that the audiences make sense. So we're going to exclude some areas. We're going to add some areas. We're going to put the 10 wealthiest zip codes. We're going to make the ads make sense. Why would I advertise to all of Orlando where we know that some parts of Orlando can't afford a pool or by the airport or in the park itself? Like it is pointless. And then the Facebook doesn't discriminate. So therefore, yeah, I think. Did it do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Now, Okay, good. So now you see it's got a super like little pinpoint, so we can remove the big one and get super hyper local of where we want them to be. So get rid of the big 10-mile radius. Let's get really selective on exactly where we want to be with this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do you see how it says include? So you can just delete it.
Mhm.
Watch this little trick that nobody knows about. Change this and change it to exclude. And now you're going to start putting little dots on where you know people don't have money.
This is something that I never knew. Damn.
This is Ninja. This is Ninja. For hyper local ads, you'll never get anything better than being hyper like
Damn.
descriptive of where you want to be. So think about this. You're going to add all the positive zip codes. You're going to add all the negative zip codes. It's just the same way that I looked up for the wealthiest areas in here. I'm going to also say, I don't want this area in there. And now it's going to exclude those ads, and this will only show for that particular area. How wild is that, guys? Did you guys know that this can happen? This can happen? Come on, give me a thumbs up if you
Didn't
knew this.
never. 2
I
years
didn't
doing
think
Facebook,
so.
man, I never.
Nobody,
Alright.
you're the prophet. You're the prophet.
No, but I'm trying to tell you guys, like, this is for local, like, you can get bananas. Like, you can get really bananas on this. And I mean, you can go back and you go to play with this, like, because we don't have enough time to do all this. And I got 3 kids with no wife here, and it's like insane. So change the age groups to 25 to 55. All right. And guys, anybody can do this. You don't have to have a PhD on this thing to do it. And you told me yourself, Rodrigo, that there's a lot of Brazilian speaking communities, right? And you have a Brazilian market. So in languages, what languages am I going to have? English, I can have
Usually
Brazilian. You can do what you want, but here's the advice. You are going to create an English version of this, and you're going to create, no, don't put Polish, no, just put English for now. And you're going to create a Brazilian ad. Why do I want to do that? Anybody? Tell me, why would I want an English ad and a Brazilian ad? Anyone?
So it's more targeted.
More targeted, but believe it or not, the foreign language ads will be 3 times less expensive than the English ads. Why? Who's running Facebook ads
Really?
to the
I had no
Brazilians? I
idea.
guarantee you nobody. Like, very small group of people versus all the people that are running ads to the English speaking population. Same thing with Spanish. Anytime you go to a different language, no, you don't want to put them in the same ad set in the same audience.
Oh,
English
it's
speaking,
a different audience. I have to create again with another language.
you will duplicate this, and you're just going to change it to Brazilian.
Oh, okay.
All right, now let's talk about demographics. We need parents, because nobody that's single is going to buy a pool for themselves. That's stupid. Why would you do that, right? So let's go to detailed targeting, and now let's put parents and see what happens. All right, and just scroll down a little bit. Working parent interests, that's pretty cool. Parents all is where I would go. You see parents all and its demographics. We're looking for demographic traits. Demographics is what they're in.
Parents all here, right?
Yep, that's the demographics we want. Really don't care about the age group. We might want to exclude parents of 18 to 25. They're moving out. You know, they're not going to get a pool. They're not at that age to get a pool. Again, think like the parents do, right? Now, what can we do for a demographic that's going to boost the income level? We already are being pretty smart, right? We are getting the wealthiest areas that we're going to be advertising to. We're going to show them some sleek, cool ass pools in the ad, because now if we're advertising to the rich are not going to buy a kiddie pool. They want to see like the extravagant Marvel slide, you know, coming in from your house, whatever it is that I wish I one day have. Like, it's going to be any one of those, but we got to be very specific of the audience that we have. You got to spend time on audiences the right way, because this is what's going to help formulate your ads a little bit later on. So we got parents. Let's think about like a luxury travel. Type in the word luxury and let's see what comes up.
I used it a lot in my ads.
Let's see. Luxury vehicles. That's perfect. Luxury vehicles is a very good indicator. Luxury resorts, luxury yachts, Okay, luxury travel information. We got the whole big luxury thing here that we can do because that adds additional interests. We're already targeting the richer markets, so we want to make sure we have this. Luxury watches. These are all good. Luxury resorts. Travel is probably the bigger one because you associate travel with people that want to be on a beach. They're already living in Florida, but that's kind of an oxymoron there. But like, obviously, it would be a good idea otherwise. And then what's more important than on top of this is that when you have this ad kind of focused on this, you have luxury, demographics, parents, age group, English. We're good. I now would create a different audience for you. And I haven't even built the ad yet. This is what I'm saying. You could spend a good amount of time strategizing what you think the best audience would be. And you would run a couple ads to each of these audience and you see whoever would win. You would run one campaign, try a different audience and so forth and so on. All right. And we're going to pause here because like I said, my time is running out, but that's the first part of this is we created the 4 core audiences: Facebook interaction, Instagram interaction, website interaction. Then you're going to upload your customer list. We're going to create lookalikes. You are going to create at least 5 to 6 audiences that you believe will be perfectly targeted. Use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude to strategize with you with the best audience that we're going to run Facebook ads to and create an avatar that we're going to do. And it's almost like you build a buyer, Luke. This is exactly what we're doing, but we're doing it in the ads format itself as we're going back. Next week, we're going to create lookalike. We're going to start talking about placements, and then we're actually going to try to build an ad. I'll build one of my own, one that I'm working on, and we'll show you from there. Now, with that being said, who wants to see my newsletter software?
Yes.
I want to see it. Let's go.
All
It's
right.
so cool.
It's still in
so cool
beta.
and so easy.
We're trying for easy, right? So actually, let me take you to the.
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah.
It's intuitive. Not so much easy, huh? It's intuitive, right?
Well, we're trying, so it's got a ways to go, but it's off of beta finally, off of alpha. But it will come in here. All right. You go in and you would immediately create a newsletter. You would get started. You would pick either one of our writers that we have, or you select you. For instance, we're just going to come over here. Oh, coming soon. I think that's the one that's broken. And we're going to use this persona, the Ashland. We're going to pick a style of newsletter we want. These are all based on the very famous newsletters that are doing really well. We're going to come in here and we're going to hit create. And now this is pretty cool. Only a 300-word description that we're going to need, and you're going to see agents at work. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say create a newsletter edition on cats and different breeds who cats and different breeds, along with health guides for cats, show outcomes, cat show outcomes. Not cast, cat. Give me something else. Newly or like I'm trying to think of
Children under
news
10. Children under
around
10.
cats. I have to get at least 30 characters, right? News around cats and
Guinea pigs. Guinea pigs, rabbits.
well, no, I want to keep it all in cats. Like I want to make it super cats because I want to see you. You guys, we've been talking. I don't know if we introduce you guys to AGI or agents. I want you to see what goes on in this thing. There's a lot of agents working on this. So create a newsletter edition on cats, different breeds, along with health guides for cats, cat show outcomes, news around cats. Something else. What else do cat people like? I don't know.
Cat shows.
Yeah, we got that merchandise. And new cat toys, equipment. I don't know what cat people are weird. I'm just kidding. If there's any cat people, equipment and fun other facts and activities. I need at least 30 characters. I'm going to go ahead and hit the magic button. Now watch what's happening. It is using the personality of the writer. It is looking at the news to see what's out there. It is looking for a week to sale, like sales options and everything else. And it's starting to create different drafts as we kind of go through. And that's not all. So this will take a hot minute, unfortunately, because it is going to go through stuff iteration. It's searching the web. It's doing all this, and you're seeing it perform in action. But the goal of it is that anybody can write a newsletter, or you can keep writing editions of the newsletter you want. And then all you have to do is copy and paste this and put it into any email service provider that you want, and it automatically will kind of send it out. Now the goal of it is that we have like over 26 personalities that, yeah, here it comes. Cat and Whiskers, your monthly perspective. I automatically already love it. So, see, it's got some personalities based on that. Highlights of the Global Cat Expo, Feline Revolutionary Cat Health Discoveries. This is all real articles. It is searching the web, it is finding it, and it's got link of the day. And notice it's got like a TDLR kind of feel to it because it is modeled after the TDLR newsletter. So it is producing all that. Now, mind you, we are still working through prompts and all of this, but the goal of it is it will help anybody who has not created a newsletter immediately get into the newsletter game, which I don't know if you guys hear me preaching about this. I think it is by far one of the most important breakouts of what's happening out there in the market. And it will keep writing. There's an editor involved that is checking the article and pushing it back to the writer. And this is going back on the back end. You're kind of seeing a little bit thing. It will take about like a good 5 to 6 minutes to write, but you will have a full news article. Now, I'm hoping to God this goes a little quicker because we are going to go over time. But it will have the ability where you can go in, and if you want to write your own sections, you can actually speak into it. It's going to have a whisper, and it's going to be able to translate. I want an article on why Luke looks like a cat, and then all of a sudden it will write that. Just based off of your voicing the transcription, it will do that. So we have a record button now, and that is coming. That is actually what we're currently working in right now. And this is actually the final draft. So here it is. And this particular writer likes to use emojis. As you can see, the emojis are using perspectively throughout the whole entire thing. And we're going to go into it because I want to show you guys the next part, which makes it even cooler. This is only like the semi-cool part. I just like the way the agents are working. And we're having the option too, where you're going to be able to create your own personality on top of it. All right, so we're going to give it a second. It's almost done. Come on, come on, come on.
What's the LLM it's attached to?
What was that?
Which LLM is it attached to? Is it looking at chat,
It's
Claude,
using
Bing,
4.
what?
It's using 4 because we don't have access to Claude, or we don't have access to anything else, and Gemini doesn't give it out. You have to be like this, like super, I don't know, affiliate of them in order to get it. And I have applied for it, but we still haven't gotten it yet. I think I have to have a couple of subscribers before they even give me access. The goal is that people will be allowed to pick which one they want to write on their behalf. But the back end is going to be, we have writers that we're going to be putting into all of this. So there's different writers in here. So there's 16 different personalities. We're probably releasing 6 at a time. And every month we're going to introduce a new personality. And some of them are completely from scratch and creative, and others are reflecting other people that exist out there. So like I said, I do wanted to get into the next page, but we might run out of time. We're a little bit already out of time. But I wanted to show you guys the problem with a lot of the things like ChatGPT and all those other ones. It would take you forever to write this because you have to iterate a couple times. What we wanted to do is immediately like just add the sections where you want them, customize a newsletter, copy and paste it, and then send it out. So a newsletter writing would probably take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and probably even a little bit, but I mean, a quality, like no joke newsletter. The designer is probably the most important part of all this, because I feel like this is where everything was lacking elsewhere. As soon as that designer likes to load. So again, we apologize, but this is why I'm still in beta. But
Quick
you see
question,
it writing. Go ahead.
Quick question. If you wanted to write about a serious subject, let's say whatever, engineering or something, advancements in engineering using AI, something completely serious, it would be able to handle that?
It does. There are different writers and different writers of like grade level and actual seriousness of it, like very
Thank you.
factual, very pointed. You would just select that writer and it would come with that writer to go with. And that's how we do it. The problem that we're having now is because we're using AGI. AGI is agent deployment. It is using different agents and they're constantly going back and they're validating the records and preparing it and final drafting it. And we also have to put everything in HTML that will allow anybody to copy this in one shot and then put it in whatever email provider they have. Because we were going to try to like, well, we'll just be the email provider. And that opened up so many cans of worms. It was horrific. So it would just not be cost effective, especially rolling something out. Maybe in like the later, like version 300, I don't know, hopefully. That will be it. So this is the cool part. Now, here's the cool part. Now check this. Okay, you got a pretty cool article. You can send it out like this, but you're like, wait a second. I want to add another article and I want it to be about this. You bring this over, you drop it in here, you prompt it, and you come in here and like write an article on Calico cats, the featured cat of the month. All right. Oh. Okay. And I hit generate. Boom. Now just straight into a different part of the article. What if I wanted to promote a product? I come over here, I drag maybe the product I want a little bit more down here. And in here, I put in an affiliate link. And then in the link, I write a little bit about what it is, and then it will automatically promote my product. So now I'm selling as an affiliate and it's helping me generate all this. Now, what if I wanted to do just a review article where I wanted to search the web? I come in here. I want to search the web for this article. I put in the link here and it's going to automatically generate the article without breaking the flow, or I can reconstitute the flow. What if I want this to be the actual like size difference and everything else? I can create, improve the writing, fix the grammar, make it shorter, longer. I can make it big, large, and different, or I can come in here and I can add images, dividers. Maybe I want a picture of a Calico cat right here. And then all I got to do is upload the image. Eventually, we're going to have the ability to generate once we have that API all sorted out. But this is what it is. When all is said and done, you hit save and then you copy the whole thing. Once it's copied, you go to any email service provider you have, drop the code in there, and you got you got it. That's it. You're done. So it'll allow you to customize, it will allow you to kind of integrate, and it has a writing style based on whatever writer you picked. And things are movable. You can move things around, do whatever you need. It's already got the subject line right up here. And then you can even, like, I think the subject line we're working on a little bit, but eventually that'll be able to be customized also. The goal of it is you walk away with a newsletter that is readable, that is very aligned to the models that exist out there, and that can create the whole thing. And you can create as many of these as you want. There's going to be no limit. So I'll have like 17 different newsletters with all these different editions, and you can see how many editions you want. So once this newsletter is programmed, you come in here and you want to write a new edition. So that's it. That's ta-da. It's getting there. That's super beta.
Awesome.
It only took me like a year and like
Oh,
17
that's really good, man.
programmers. But that's kind of what we're building to. The goal is, again, I still think the newsletter market is hot. I think it's definitely something that's very low entry for a lot of entrepreneurs. I think anybody can do it. And if you have a tool like this to accelerate it, man, you can run like 5 newsletters. One on cats, one on pools, one on dogs, one on paddles, one on whatever it is. Get it out there. Run ads to a very hyper-specific market that is going to be interested in whatever it is. Like, for instance, here's a cool trick, Rodrigo. Make believe we go that the paddle ball, not the sand paddles you were talking to me about. I would literally use that drop pin, put it in around that area right there, and anybody that frequents that area, because your phone tracks when you go back there, start dropping, join my paddle newsletter, stop going in, like, that's what you do. Like, if you know where all these people, there was a lady that's doing a bridge. We were helping her build out a high level account, and she runs bridge tournaments. And I'm like, that's kind of corny. I'm like, how much? $1.5 million business. Luke, I almost fell off my chair. Bridge, 1.5 million she makes a year running bridge events, because apparently the people that play bridge are old, like, rich people. I fell off my chair. Guess how she targets her people? The way I just told you. She targets older communities, pins them, and then just like drops a bunch of ads. Join our
ads.
tournament. Join our tournament. She sells out every single time. I thought it was
Huge.
brilliant. I was like,
how much is it gonna be to be in the platform for the newsletters?
well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give everybody access here for the beta. We just gotta. You'll probably just have to put your own open API key. You'll get it for probably like the beta while it's still free, and then I have no idea. We're still trying to figure out the cost of everything.
I'm writing a newsletter for weeks for a realtor. It's great. I mean, but I have to figure out a lot of stuff like the frequency. For example, emailing people every day. It's kind of annoying for them. You know,
Once a week for a
lot of things
newsletter,
to-
man. I mean, some people want to do until you get readers like the News Ed and your open rates are in like 50, 60, then you move over to like another day and increase your days as your newsletter gets popular, not the reverse. Don't start off
Yeah.
with 5. That's
And
stupid.
getting the list to grow is another challenge as well, because we get some
well, you got to run
here and
ads.
there, but a lot of unsubscribes every day. So
Yeah,
you know,
but
you gotta
remember, I think I talked to you about this, guys. You always have to have a net positive when it comes to growth. So
Yeah.
you will always, doesn't matter who you are, you will always have a net unsubscribe month, like in the month, and you got to have the same or more growth month. So no matter what, you always have to run some kind of ads at a very minimal level, even if it's anywhere from 5 to 10. But if you run ads like I showed you with interactions, with pin drops, with very hyper targeted things, use AI to help you configure and have a conversation about that, what that is. And now you're going to kind of supersede that.
You see
So
how people do
just think
ads
about that.
for newsletters, like if it was the reader, like giving a testimonial about, hey, I read these newsletters and I learn everything about marketing, and my boss thinks I'm a marketing genius because of this newsletter. You see this kind of ad about newsletters?
Yeah. So that's what it is. That's it, guys. I hope that was a bunch of value. That should have been a bunch of value, man. I gave you the crack code of like how I made like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We love you. We love you, Nuno. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so we're gonna try to
Okay.
do this, like I said, if Luke's up for it, like in a 3-month, in a 3-part series. So at least you get like the basics and the foundations of how to set that up. We're gonna do lookalike audience. So Rodrigo, I'm counting on you to like upload at least a customer list, and then we're gonna create the lookalike and go back and play with some lists. So then you can come on. Look, these are these are the audiences I created. Anybody playing around with Facebook ads, do this stuff with the audiences. Make sure you have that, because then I'm going to show you the top secret video view thing that I do to warm up an audience for very little, for $5 a day. It's stupid. So
I
like
need
in
that.
100, yeah, $5 a day, super easy. You warm up a really massive audience, and then you go in there. So
Point on
wait,
this.
I'll push out the link when it's a little bit more ready. We have like 3 or 4 features that we got to pin down first before it's out. But I am having my meeting tomorrow, so I'll have more of an update there.
If
Yeah,
you have
well,
any
still on
secrets
alpha.
about
It's
real
not even on beta.
estate, if you have any secrets about real estate for Facebook ads, let me know, because ads for real estate is a pain in the ass. You can't do it, like it's a lot of restrictions, you know. So I run ads for my client. We got like leads at $15. You know, it was very good. 16 leads in like 5 days. But she was like, "Nah, I don't know the quality, this and that." So we can't really do a
Yeah.
lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
well, we can go over that. I mean, we can go over that. My main focus is showing you guys the foundations and getting some ads set up so you guys can go through that, because I want at least everybody walking away with that knowledge. Like, it's not that hard. People just make it sound harder than what it is. Especially when you're just starting out. When you get big, then you got to get like an ads manager that knows what they're doing. Because anything in the ad space, when you get to a certain volume, you got to pass it off to somebody who knows what they're doing. Like earlier on when you're learning, you can learn at a very cheap rate and not blow up the bank. But at the same time, when you start playing with thousands and thousands of dollars, you got to really pass it off, because volume and ads, that's where things get hairy, but you got a long way to go before you get into volume. So it's just a different way to manage it. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're not in it every day, you'll burn your ads out in a minute. So that's it. That's all I got, Luke. I got to run, man. My kids are like by themselves.
You're good.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Thanks, guys.
Nuno. Thank you, everyone,
I hope
for
the
being
kids
here.
are okay.
Yeah, they are. They're
Thank you,
lovely.
Nuno.
I'll
Thank
see you guys
you.
later.
See you. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Oh, man.